What's up, my reseller friends? My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay and Mercari, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I don't overdo it when it comes to ordering shipping supplies in bulk. I often see on social media other resellers like to buy a lot of shipping supplies in bulk, and the reason for that is because it saves money, right? The more you buy, the more you save. So they like to stock up on supplies. Same thing with USPS. They offer free supplies. So why not stock up on it? Especially if you're worried that maybe supplies may sell out or be on back order. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have your supplies. So that's, from my understanding, the reason why a lot of other resellers really like to stock up on having a lot of supplies on hand. However, I do things a little bit differently, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, in a way, I do kind of still order in bulk because I like to make sure I have 6 months of supply always on hand. Because yeah, it really sucks if there's something you need to ship out and you don't have the right packaging for it. It can end up costing you money because now you have to use something different that may not be as price efficient. And not only that, you don't want to go running off to the store buying supplies in the middle of the week and whatnot. All those things are bottlenecks, right? So it is always good to make sure you have what you need in hand all the time. And if you are a new seller, I do recommend that you look at the type of inventory you sell and make sure that you do have those supplies that you will need to ship those. You should never list something on eBay if you don't have on hand the box or packaging that you're going to need to ship it, because there's nothing worse than when you're doing your shipping and you don't have anything to ship the item in. It's very stressful. So just make sure that you do that. So when it comes to the business side of my reselling, I like to take experiences that I've learned just through school, education, and also past jobs, and apply what I've learned into this business. And I want to quickly tell you a little story about a past job that I had. So I used to work for the city of San Jose, and mostly my job was doing a bunch of boring bookkeeping spreadsheet stuff. But I did have a couple of other like random jobs. One of them was to make sure that the supply closets in the first, second, and third floor were always stocked. So basically what I had to do was once a month, I had to go look through each one of those closets and order what they needed. However, I had a budget. So even though I was ordering once a month, I had to make sure that I was ordering the right things that they needed and just ordering enough to last them a month. And there actually does take a little skill in that, in, you know, kind of trying to balance those things out. And I actually really enjoyed that part of my job. It was fun. I love going through to the different floors and looking through the supply rooms and stuff. And I had like great little carts and stuff. And then not only that, when it arrived, it was also my job to go and stock up those closets. So I really loved doing that. But I kind of use that model with the business I'm doing now. So why do you think this was their procedure? Why do you think that they did it this way instead of telling me, hey, just order tons of supplies in bulk so that we can save money in the long run? Why did they not do it that way? Well, the reason is because it's not smart to tie up all of your money into supplies. You have to know how to delegate your money in the right places. So the way that I do my bookkeeping and the way that I figure out how much money I've really made at the end of the month is I look at my GoDaddy account. I look at what my profits are, and my profits always deduct money that I spend on supplies. And if I'm spending money on supplies, that is taking money away from what I could be investing in inventory. So even though I know that there is savings when it comes to ordering shipping supplies in bulk, I just really don't feel like the savings are really that steep enough for me to want to tie up my money into that. So I know a lot of my viewers are like me, where we run our business out of our home, and I run my business out of my garage. Everything's in there, but space is very important to me for a few reasons. One, if I feel everything is too cluttered and too packed, it gives me anxiety and I start to feel a little bit stressed out about it. Like, I can't work as well if I know that my space is too cluttered. Another thing, if all my space is being used up on boxes and supplies, where am I going to store my inventory? So when I look at the pros and the cons for buying a bunch of shipping supplies in bulk, I feel like the cons outweigh the pros. And that's just for me. When it comes to smaller items, like the printing labels and maybe some poly bags and tape and stuff like that, I don't mind ordering a little bit more than what I need because those items are so small and they're really easy to store. But I'm mostly talking about like big boxes and like overdoing it on supplies. And that also includes the free USPS boxes. Now, I know other resellers have mentioned that the reason why they order a lot of USPS boxes is because they're free, and also a lot of times they do sell out and then they're in a situation where they don't have boxes. However, I have been doing this for over 3 years now, and I've never been in a situation where I wasn't able to get those priority mail boxes that I needed on time. So I only order 10 at a time of what I need, with the exception of the padded flat rate envelopes, because I go through those a lot and I kind of have a hard time distinguishing how much of them I really do need. They're easier to store, and those are the ones that tend to sell out pretty quickly. So I do overdo it a little bit on those padded envelopes, but everything else I only order 10 at a time. And then when I notice that I'm running short, so I only have like 2 or 3 boxes left, I will go on to USPS. I have it bookmarked. I just go onto there and I just order 10 more, and it's so easy. So as long as that continues to not be an issue, I am going to continue to only order those 10 boxes that I need. But then also another thing that I should mention, I actually don't use priority mail that often. Most of the types of items that I sell are media or clothing or toys. Most of those types of things weigh under 1 pound anyways. So it would not be smart for me to have a whole bunch of priority mail boxes lying around. And not only that, I just don't want to abuse the system. I don't want to order more than what I need. So just to give you an idea of how many boxes I have in hand of priority mail, there's these. I have a few down here and then some right here. Those are the padded envelopes, and that is it. I don't have any more priority mail boxes anywhere. So there were a few things that I feel like I forgot to mention. One is that I definitely think it's great to stock up on free supplies if you can get them. I will keep those in my garage all day long because they're free. And but when it comes to like bigger boxes or boxes that I feel like I'll never end up using, I'll just toss those. And then sometimes I'll go through and look at the boxes that I've saved, and if some of them I've had this box forever and I've never used it, I'll end up just tossing it because I just don't want to have too much, like I had mentioned before. But free supplies are definitely great. And then another thing I wanted to mention is, I know that I said that I keep about 6 months of supply, but I was really thinking about it, and I kind of feel like it's probably more like 3 to 6 months, if I'm being honest. A lot of my supplies start to run out after about like 3 to 4 months. I hope you found this video useful in any way at all. I know we all have our techniques of things we want to do. Maybe this isn't for you. I understand that. But I do appreciate you sticking around and watching my video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. My channel is all about my journey reselling, and I want to take that journey with you and also teach you the things that I've learned from my own experience and hope that I can help somebody out. So definitely subscribe and also like this video. That really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I super appreciate you. Never forget, when you thrift upon a star, your dreams will come true. I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye. We don't talk about Bruno, no.